I've often thought about getting another camera in the shop to take, like overhead videos or, close-ups at the same time as my other camera. I was thinking about buying one, but there's really no need to do that when I'm holding one right here in my hand. All I need to do is to create a holder for this one, and then I can shoot video with it along with the camera that you're looking at right there. So this one has taken a few trips to the floor. As you can see here, it hasn't fared too well. So I'm going to take this camera, or this iPad, use its camera to take video, and I'm just winging this. I've got some ideas that I want to do, but I'm not positive how I want to do it. But that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and get it done. It's kind of weird with two cameras. You don't know which one to pay attention to. Anyway, let me get things set up and we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so the first piece I created here is just a piece of 1/2 inch Baltic birch, and I cut a channel out of it, or a rabbet, and that's what I'm going to have my iPad sit into. Now the next challenge is to secure it. So what I'm going to do is drop it in from the top. So that's going to be that piece right there. And this channel is, this thickness of the iPad is 300 thousandths, and the depth of cut along this white line here, or I guess I don't know what they call it, the bezel maybe, is that's 400 thousandths. So that's what I did. I just created a 300 depth of cut, and 300 this way and 400 that way. So that's a nice fit, and it doesn't wobble or have any play there at all. And you can actually kind of feel it just grab as it goes in. So I'm going to create 2 more pieces out here. I've got my saw set up to cut on either 2 sides of a piece of 1/2 inch ply, so that they'll both be the same. Then it's just a question of where I'm going to locate them on this piece of ply. And then my 4th piece will come down and slide in a slot, and that's how I'll hold this. Hold it in from this direction. Okay, that white border on the sides measures about 3/4 of an inch, or it's a little more than 3/4, but I'm going to cut it at 3/4, and then that'll create the rabbet I need for the side pieces. And then I'll come back and do after I rip these off, I'll do the top piece that I want here. I could probably get that top piece, because it doesn't need to be that substantial, out of this. So never mind that. We're good to go. I can get the top and bottom out of this piece, and then my 2 side pieces will come out of this here. I put X's on here. That's the part that needs to be removed. Just a little bit. I can always come back this way. I know these pieces are coming off the wrong side of the blade, but that's all right. I'll be able to deal with that. ridge there when I ran it the first time. I just raised my blade ever so slightly to remove that. So I'll check the fit on this now. We should be good. That is good. All right. So let me rip it to length here. I'll show you what I have. Or rip it to width, I mean, sorry. All right, let's just say that this is my back. And that's going to go there, there, and there. But what I don't want is that gap. So I can miter these corners, or I can just do a little rabbet going the other way to fit into this. Just removing this material, which I think will be the best solution, easiest solution anyway. So what I need to do is I need to remove this so that this sits down on there, that much. And that'll be pretty simple. So I'll set my blade height to this and put it on my, first I'll square up this end. I'll square up, these are going to be opposite pieces. So I'll square up that end and this end, and then I'll remark it. And we'll come back and check our fit. Alright, I'll smooth that out a little bit with my shoulder plane, and that'll be a nice fit. It's just a little proud right now, so it won't take just a couple of passes to get that flat enough to mesh nicely. Then we can mark our width on this piece. Alright, that's the kind of joint that we're looking for. And now that I've got this in here, I'll bring my other piece over. And I can mark it for length. Now I'm going to cut this a little long. The reason being that when I glue it up, I want a little of this hanging out on this edge and a little on this side. And then I'll true everything up, plywood and all, with just little skin passes here. Alright, now these for length here, I want to be below this speaker, so I'm going to say about right in here. Speaker is about there. That's the forward camera. I don't think I need to worry about that. Although I might as well, I guess. I can cut a hole, cut a notch for that. And cut a hole for this. Let me get my center line here. All right, that looks good. I'm a little long on the bottom part here, which is fine. I haven't drilled my holes yet, but I've got my lock piece here. And I'm going to do something here. I'm going to probably round this over a little bit, just so it's not such a sharp edge. But you can see the relief I made for the speaker here on both sides. And that should be just dandy. I'll drill my hole there. Let me get I think that's going to be just about centered. I'm going to drill a big hole so I can get my whole finger in there. All right, these turned out pretty good. 1 inch radius, and then cut the tangents on my table saw sled. That looks nice. You probably could have used a smaller bit, but I don't mind that look right there with the edge of the iPad touching the inner edge of that piece of plywood there. I'm just going to leave that alone. So I like the way it looks. The radiuses, centers are pretty well matched, it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to take care of the tops of these, and then we can worry about the backer and the lock knob on top.